When the world gets you down and you're feeling lonely, when you can't find your truth or find your center, there are many here who gather together. Oh, unconditionally, we love each other, and the scars that we see just make us stronger. We breathe it in together. We'll hold you up with grace. We know that love lives here in you and me. Love lives here. My soul breaks free. I'm so excited to be united with you. Where love lives. Where love lives. When life gets you down, you can't see the future. When it all seems too much for you to handle, there are many here who gather together. Oh, unconditionally, we pray together, and the hurt that you feel will be set free. We breathe it in together. We'll hold you up with grace. We know that love lives here in you and me. Love lives here. My soul breaks free. I'm so excited to be united with you. Where love lives. Where love lives. Love lives here in you and me. Love lives here. My soul breaks free. I'm so excited to be united with you. Where love lives. Where love lives. Love lives here.
Good morning. We acknowledge that we gather on the ancestral lands of the Cahuilla, Gabrielino, Tongva, Kich, and Luiseño peoples. We commit to live in right relations, to love our neighbors, to seek justice and loving kindness, and to walk humbly on this land. We recognize our oneness to decolonize our minds and set each other free from the pain of racism and violence, to live better as God intended, in harmony with nature and one another. Good morning. My name is Michelle Geyer, and I am your guest host this morning while Reverend Jeffrey takes some much needed restorative time. And we have a special guest speaker today as well, Rasheryl McCreary. And I know we're all excited to hear what she has to say today. I want to just take a moment and check in on the chat here. We've got welcome to Pat and Shawnee, the Williams family, Dinah, love lives here. The Bogans, good morning, Denise and Earl. Good morning to my husband who's checking in. And Cindy, good morning, Cindy. And Marty and Vicky, good morning. So it's so wonderful to see you all here. Keep checking in on the chat. And while you're there, go ahead, if you're on Facebook, start a watch party and let folks know what you're doing this morning. All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Jubel, and let's get some energy moving and flowing this morning.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Sing along with us. I know you know it. It's such a great song. We are one big family. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we meant to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. All right, you can sing with me. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. One more time, let's do it together. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Good morning, everybody. There is a gift. There is a gift. There is a gift in the silence. There is a gift. There is a gift. There is a gift in the silence. There is a gift. There is a gift. There is a gift in the silence. So now
Good morning. I'm Constance. Good morning. I'm Constance Stringfellow, one of your licensed spiritual practitioners here at the Riverside Center for Spiritual Living. I invite you to close your eyes if this is comfortable for you, and let's turn within, taking in a deep cleansing breath, breathing in love and breathing out love. Allow yourself to connect with God, the oneness of all life, knowing that God is the very air that we breathe. All that was created and exists is from this one power, God. God is perfect love. God is peace. God is divine intelligence, beauty, wholeness, and so much more. I know that God is in, through, and over, and around all. I know that I am a divine emanation of this one power and this one presence. And as I know this truth for myself, I know this is true for everyone, everywhere. We are one, and there can be no separation in this oneness. In this moment, I know that each one of us is open to embrace change. We may react fearfully when life changes, but we can always pick up our spiritual practice, our practice of gratitude, affirming and knowing that everything changes. We have the power to change in this moment. We have an opportunity to transform. And know that Spirit guides and supports us as we step into the unknown with an attitude of gratitude as leaders in change and transformation. I bless our guest, Ministerial Intern, Rasheryl, McCreary, knowing that she is an angel of light, open to love, open to peace and compassion. I know that Spirit speaks through her as she delivers a message, a powerful message for us today. I bless the music by Jabel and Company, and also bless Michelle as she puts together this program today. And all comes together in perfect divine order. I bless Reverend Jeffrey as he takes his needed time for rest and relaxation.
I bless our church family, everyone listening, and I know that our service unfolds in perfect divine order, and I just let it be so. And so it is.
1, 2, 3, I'm not worried about tomorrow. Today I declare freedom from yesterday, mistakes of the past. Today all things are made brand new. Count it, don't it feel good to know that all is well and unfolding as it should. I can change my reality, change my mind. Perfect peace, joy, and happiness, yours and it's mine. I am loved, and so are you. And don't it feel good to know that all is well and unfolding as it should? Let me hear you now. All is well. All is well. Divine Spirit in directing me right now. All is well. All is well, all is well, and unfolding as it should. I am cloaked in the Spirit, I am fed by the divine. I am one with all that is, my soul is free from time. I am blessed, and so are you. And don't it feel good to know that all is well? Don't you feel it? All is well. Just to be around all is well. My soul feels so good. All is well. Gotta go and make the change right now. Oh, my mind, I feel so well. Oh, yeah. All is well. Don't you feel good? All is well. Don't it feel good? All is well and unfolding as it should. Oh, yeah. All is well.
Thank you so much, Jabel. All right, let's check in and see who else has joined us. I saw the Ennisons pop in. Good morning to the Ennison family. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning, Tori Samuel. Good morning, Mike and Jeannie and Dottie. Let's see. Good morning, Reverend Sherry. Good morning, Allison. Good to see you. Hello, Mom. You made it. We've got Shawnee. And good morning, Amber. Good morning, John and Lupe Marie. So glad to see all of you here this morning. So let's get started with our focus statement and make sure I pop that up here on the screen. Forgive me for being a little distracted here. I'm used to being on the side. I'm not used to being up in front here. So I have to find my thing there it is. There it is. All right. Let's say it all together. Let's see, what letter should we do today? We did V's before. You guys got a little tired of V's, so then we jumped to P's. Let's do passion and purpose this time. We'll think of another alphabet for next week. We embolden people to live their highest potential through the transformative power of love. One more time. We embolden people to live their highest potential through the transformative power of love. All right, doesn't that feel good? Okay. So it is my distinct honor and privilege to introduce to you today our guest speaker. Our speaker today, Rasheryl McCreary, has a very diverse background. She's a Georgetown University trained executive leadership coach and the CEO of Towel Leadership Development, Inc., where she has trained and coached thousands of leaders in organizations like American Express, P&G, HBO, PayPal, and Harvard Business School. Most importantly, she grew up in religious science and has been a member of multiple CSL churches all over the country since childhood. In 1993, she became a licensed practitioner at Agape under the tutelage of Michael Beckwith. Rasheryl is a guest speaker, workshop retreat facilitator, board and business consultant, and leadership coach to CSL churches and ministers. Currently, she sits on the board of directors for the Arizona Foundation for Women, and she's in Ministerial School at Holmes Institute, graduating this June. Yay! We are pleased to welcome Rasheryl McCreary.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for that beautiful introduction. And I am so glad to be here. Greetings, CSL Riverside. And also thank you, Reverend Jeffrey, for entrusting me with your pulpit. And I'm so glad you're getting some rest. So blessings to you as you do that. So today's topic is winds of change, winds of change. And so I'd like to ask, I know I can't see you guys respond there, but I'd love for you just to think about this. So when you hear that phrase, winds of change, do you think inside of yourself or internally, do you go, oh, goody, winds of change, yes, come on. Or are you in a place of, oh boy, let me white knuckle it through whatever's about to happen, right? So those two sort of polar opposite responses is where we tend to fall. I would say we probably tend to fall a little bit closer on that scale of, oh boy, whoa, what does this mean? And so what I'd like to talk about today is how we can rethink, reimagine, re-experience, reframe change and what it is, right? There's that trite saying, change is opportunity, which, depending on what kind of change you're going through, you really don't want to hear that. But I will invite you to think about this. Right now we are in a season of incredible change and disruption happening everywhere. And I call this Big Change Fast. We're in the middle of Big Change Fast. And this is actually the title of an improv exercise that I used to do with clients many years ago as a consultant, a little improv exercise to help them figure out how to navigate through change and what that feels like. And Big Change Fast that we're experiencing right now, we have the pandemic going on, and it's there's light at the end of the tunnel there. There's all kinds of social upheaval as we are beginning to recognize and understand ways in which the world does not work for everyone. So there's a lot of things going on. And great things, technological breakthroughs, new ways of communicating. I mean, just the fact that this pandemic happened right now, while when we have Zoom and we have StreamYard and we have all of these magnificent technological tools to help us stay connected to one another versus 20 years ago or even 10 years ago. So right now we're in the middle of Big Change Fast, and it's glorious and it's ugly and it's frightening and it's chaotic and it's beautiful, and it's just a beautiful mess that we're in. And one of the things that I think we as especially those of us in Science of Mind teachings understand is, when you have a big, bold vision, when you walk around and say, as our global vision statement says, our global vision statement says we envision humanity awakening to its spiritual magnificence and discovering the creative power of thought, a world where each and every person discovers his or her own personal power and ability to create an individual life that works within a world that works for everyone. That is the big, bold vision, the global vision for CSL. And sometimes when you throw out a big, bold vision and you walk in that big, bold vision and you're intentional about that big, bold vision, it activates big change fast, right? A big, bold vision can activate big change fast. Because in order to have humanity awaken to its spiritual magnificence and discover for each of us to discover and utilize our creative power in order to create a world that works for everyone, we have to let all that is unlike that comes up to the surface. And we used to call that way back in the day. You know, I grew up in religious science, and we used to call that chemicalization. And it would happen typically when you went into Science of Mind 1, as it was called back when I went through, right? So you just get started in these principles. You're just now getting intentional. You're just now seeing a new vision for your life, a new way forward, and boom, everything that's unlike that vision comes up. And now you're wondering, like, why are all these things happening? Why are these things changing? Why are these bad things happening to me and to other people? And so that is one frame for us to really think about winds of change and what we're experiencing right now. This big change fast has been activated by our big bold vision. So it's not personal to us, even though we may be experiencing it personally. Things are not happening personally to us. They are just happening, right? The coronavirus is happening to us, but really that virus wants to live. It's trying to find places to live. It's a life trying to live, right? And so we don't want it living in us per se, but you know, when we begin to think about and look at all of the things we're experiencing right now, and even though they're happening to us, if we can depersonalize it as this energy or this expression, this outpouring, this uprising, whatever's happening is life, right? Life breaking through, life, higher consciousness coming through, a world that works for everyone breaking through. And sometimes it's just messy. And sometimes it's incredibly beautiful. So one of the things I want us to really think about is when we're going through this chemicalization and all these things are happening, and this is also what I would advise clients when they're doing this big change fast exercise. You know, the first thing that you have to do is you have to get anchored, right? You have to get anchored, right? And so for us, what that means is there is that which is changeless. There is that which is changeless. There is only one power. There is only one presence. There's only one activity. There's only one thing happening, and it is God, the Creator, Spirit, the Holy Spirit, the divine, whatever we call it. It is what it is, and it is always what it is. And so when we get anchored in that which has never been touched, never been hurt, never been harmed, cannot change, that is changeless, even as it manifests in unique ways and expresses in unique ways, it does not change. It is the changeless. And so we have to get anchored in the rock, right? The rock that does not change. That is the first step. And so what does that look like? That looks like amping up your spiritual practices, amping up the meditation and the spiritual mind treatment or the prayer work, affirmative prayer, taking classes, working with your practitioner, all of the things that help you get to the truth of the all that is. That is what you have to do in times of big change, in times when the winds of change are coming. That's when you want to get anchored, right? You want to get anchored in the truth. And we have so many tools and resources to be supported in that. In addition to our own spiritual practice, we have incredible practitioners. We have our ministers. So you want to avail yourself of those things that help you get anchored. Because here's what's really, really, really difficult. When you are anchored in external things, right? So anchored in conversations on Facebook, right? And posting about stuff on Facebook, or anchored in watching the news and what's happening, or anchored in discussions and conversations with people about all the different changes that are taking place. If you're anchored in that, then you just create more of that. And you feel unstable. It feels personal. What's happening feels personal, right? Like these things are happening to you. And it's because you're anchored in external things that are going to change, right? The things of man will fall away. They will change. They are not reliable. But anchoring in spirit, anchoring in God, that allows you to ride the waves of change when the winds of change are upon us. So another thing that is, and this is not necessarily sequential, but the other thing that, or the next thing that I want you to be thinking about is how can you put down your weapons? How can you surrender and put down your weapons? Because here's the thing, when you're in the middle of big change fast, change is going to win. Right? Change is going to win if you decide you're going to, battle against it. And so frequently, I think that we approach change like a movie, like a not a horror movie, but like one of those movies where it's like Godzilla or Aliens Land, right? And then we get all of our weapons and we try to fight the aliens, right? Or fight Godzilla or fight whatever it is, right? So many times that's sort of instinctively how we approach change, as something to fight, right? Something to try to master and control and get a hold of. And that is a very short-term solution, a very painful and short-term solution, because you can't fight change. Big change fast, the big evolutionary changes that are upon us now, you cannot fight them, because life is going to happen. Life is going to evolve. Life is going to move forward. We're birthing a world that works for everyone. And so that is not going to stop. That cannot be stopped. So we have to find a way to put down our weapons, right? Surrender to the change. Now, surrender does not mean be a doormat. It doesn't mean you let people walk all over you, or you don't do the proper things to have good boundaries and to take care of yourself and to, and to really nourish yourself and your loved ones. So that's not what it means, like just letting anything go. But it does mean looking at, how are you resisting, right? How are you fighting? We're seeing all around us these, people who are fighting change, right? Fighting the changes that are happening, resisting them, and creating so much angst and so much energy, and so much, we're having violent outbursts and people, just at the drop of a hat, just going off about wearing a mask or whatever it is, right? This resistance to the inevitable. And so what I invite us to do is, once you're anchored in the all that is, you're anchored in the rock. And Spirit has your back. Spirit is your back. Spirit is the change that's happening. When you understand that, then you can put down your weapons. You can put down your weapons and surrender. And that helps you then figure out, how do I get into alignment with this evolutionary change? How do I get into alignment with big change fast? In improv, the first rule of improv is say yes. Say yes. And what that means is, when you're in improv and you are engaging with another person, there's that energy flowing and you're exchanging and you're riffing off of each other. In order for that to happen, in order to get that synergy happening, in order to activate that connection that's already there, but in order to activate it, you have to say yes. You can't, in an improv, say no to what someone else is saying, because it ends the improv. The momentum stops, right? And so I invite us to look at, how do we implement this in our lives? What can we say yes to? If there is a call on your heart, if there is something inside of you that that wants to be birthed, that wants to come forward, that wants to live out loud, that wants to manifest, that wants to live, then how can you say yes to that? How can you say yes? How can you say yes and allow that which wants to move through you and birth through you to let it have full sway and let it come into being? So saying yes is so, so, so important. And, the last thing I will say is that, when we're going through big change and the winds of change are upon us, part of the reason we're in that, oh boy, place that we're holding on is because we don't want to let go of the past. We don't want to let go of the past. And so we don't know what is coming, right? We don't know what's approaching us. And so if we can find a way, even right now, while we're already in the midst of all of this change, all of this stuff, we're already in the midst of this, and finding a way to bless the past, right? To bless the way it used to be, to mourn and to grieve. We want to feel our feelings, right? We want to feel our feelings. We want to grieve and to mourn the loss of the way things used to be, the loss of the ease with which we could meet with each other and gather in our churches and our centers without masks, the way we could hug each other and be together as community. We want to, or we could see our family, or we could travel, or to grieve those that are no longer with us and who have shuffled off the mortal coil. So we want to grieve those and honor the past, and we have to release the past. And it is a process. We don't want to bypass any part of that process, but it is a process of letting go, of releasing, of honoring the past, right? Honoring the past and just letting it go. And as we're able to do that, and you see how, like, when you're anchored in the all that is, it gives you what you need to navigate through these different parts of the process. And it may not be in the sequential order I'm talking about, but that anchoredness allows us to navigate the winds of change and to enjoy the gifts and the fruits that those winds have to offer us. So, I think that one of the other things that we want to think about as we're navigating through the winds of change is, so many times we're focused on what we need to do, right? What we need to do. Like, what do I need to do? This is happening. What do I do? This is happening. What do I do? We're in that space of action. And hearkening back to what I first brought up, what we really need to be thinking about is, who am I to be? Who am I to be? Right? Who am I to be in all of this that is going on, that is happening? And so frequently we move into action versus being really anchored and moving from a place of consciousnness, moving consciously. Right? So instead of thinking about, like, what do I need to do? And obviously there's some things, some changes that happen that, you need to move into action, right? Fire alarm goes off, you need to move into action. But there are a lot of changes that are going on now. Existential changes are happening, big, huge changes. The way we live, the way we're going to be, the way we make a living, the way we are in relationship. So many things are happening and changing right now. And we want to run out and do something. And yes, we want to do stuff, but we also have to really be anchored in, who am I to be versus what am I to do, right? Who am I, right? Because if I'm anchored in the all that is, and that is all that there is, and I know I'm a unique expression of the all that is, that is my true identity. And the all that is birthing in every experience, no matter the appearance. When I know that, when I understand what's truly, truly happening, then my consciousness is a force for good. I am being a space and place for good. I am being a space and place that births a new world that works for everyone. I am working for myself, right? I am in alignment with myself. And therefore, I can be a place and space of a world that works for everyone, because I'm that in consciousness. And that consciousness, who I be, will then inform what I do, so that my actions are divinely intelligent. My actions are divinely effective. My actions are divinely powerful. My actions are divinely transformational, right? That is where we want to be coming from as we move into the doing that the winds of change push us into, right? That pushes us into. And so these are some of the movements. So I won't, or points, or pillars, or practices to put into place as we are navigating through the winds of change. So just to recap, we want to absolutely be anchored in the unchanging, in that which is that which is everywhere, that which is all that there is, what we call God or whatever we call it. We want to be anchored in that. We want to surrender and put down our weapons. Put down our weapons, stop fighting, and find a way to surf the change, right? Find a way to say yes, yes, and so it unlocks the synergy that's going to actually get you where you want to go, or the momentum that actually creates the change. We want to honor, grieve, and release the past lovingly, honoring it, right? And all that is brought, because the past, everything in the past has brought us to this moment, right here, right now, right where we are. And the beautiful thing is, just as the past has accumulated into our present moment, what we do now is creating our future moment. What we do now is creating our future moment. Right. And it's so important to be aware that we are creating the future right here and right now. And so those are the practices for navigating through the winds of change, so that actually when we are confronted with change, or change is upon us, we can actually be in that place and that space where we say, oh, goody. Oh, my goodness. Oh, yes. Here comes change. You know, Ernest Holmes says, instead of being confused by the situations around us, we should be calm, tranquil, and confident that through reforming our word, we can as easily change the existing conditions as perpetuate them, right? So instead of being confused, right, and activated, highly activated. I see so much activation on Facebook and different places. Instead of doing that, we should be calm and tranquil and confident. Through reforming our word, we can easily change the conditions, or perpetuate them, right? Because of who we be, Our consciousness determines what the experience is going to be. So with that in mind, we want to keep our vision before us of a world that works for everyone, our highest vision of us individually living out to our full potential. We want to keep that vision before us and refuse to be baffled or defeated, right? But calm and definite of purpose, as Ernest Holmes says, with an uplifted thought and calm but definite purpose, we cannot fail. We cannot fail. So that is the absolute truth of how we can navigate these winds of change and actually propel ourselves into the exact vision that we intended, the exact vision that we have articulate, that we affirm, and that we desire for ourselves and for the world. Oh, so we're in this improv game together, and let's have fun. Let's have fun. So let's turn within. And so we just settle in right here, right now, to that one presence, that one power, that one idea, that one life that is everywhere. That is everywhere. There is not a spot where God is not. And we know that we live and we move and we have our beingness in this presence. And so I know right now, as I speak this word, that I am a divine, unique emanation of the one life, of pure spirit, of divine intelligence. That is my true identity. And I know absolutely it is the true identity of each and every individual on this planet. And certainly right here in this beautiful community of CSL Riverside. And so the word I speak then is a word of absolute power, absolute truth, as I declare for each and every one that indeed all is well, as the song said, all is well. As I know for each and every one that each one is made in the image and likeness, not a pure spirit, that each one is guided, guarded, lifted, directed, and protected from on high in all places, all spaces, all situations, and all circumstances. I speak a word of absolute, total, irrevocable healing and health established for the body, temple, and body of affairs of each one here. And I speak the word knowing that magnificent abundance and prosperity is unfolding in the body of affairs of each one and everyone and anyone needing this prayer this day. I speak a word this morning for our elected officials and for our government, knowing that the presence of God is back of the appearance no matter what. And I know that each individual is in a divine, unique expression of the Most High. I know the decisions are made easily and effortlessly in alignment with the natural laws, with the spirit of truth, infusing every decision, every action, every activity. I speak a word this morning for anyone and everyone experiencing dis-ease, whether it is COVID related, whatever it is, knowing that each one is whole, perfect, and complete at the root of their beingness in every cell, tissue, organ, action, system, and function. This is what I know, that indeed all is well, no matter the appearance, no matter the appearance. And for those who are experiencing change and heartbreak, experiencing grief and mourning, I speak a word of blessing, knowing that the presence of God loves and comforts and lifts each one. This is what I know. Our world is a blessing and is blessed, and we are blessings and we're blessed. This is the truth. I give thanks for this word. I give thanks for this word. I give thanks for Reverend Jeffrey, for his beautiful consciousness, the transformative power of his work in CSL Riverside, blessing it so mightily, such a light in the world. And I am so grateful for this. And so I know this word is absolutely complete. I know it is done, and I release it now completely and totally. And we say together, and so it is. And so it is.
Here we go. This is called Change the Way. What do you want? Where do you want to go? Get what you want if you act as if you know. It starts with you. Do you believe it? All in the way you choose to see it. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Do 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 change. Do 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 change. Do 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 change. Do 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 do. When you feel lost and you can't find your way, keep your eye on the prize. It will materialize. It starts with you. Do you believe it? It's all in the way you choose to say it. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Do 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 change. Do 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 change. Do 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 change. Do 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 do. Change, change. You can do it. Change, change. It's a sure thing. Change, change. Expect a miracle. Change, change. Watch me change when you change the way you look at things. The things you look at change when you change the way you look at things. The things you look at change. Do 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 change. Do 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 change. Do 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 change. Do 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 change.
Okay, that was fabulous. It was over here bebopping along, and Ed and I were saying how we need to have like cameras that we can switch to at people's houses and showing them dancing and that sort of thing. So thank you so much, Rasheryl, for that amazing, amazing message. And there were so many points there that I was like, ooh, yes, we're going to talk about that. So I'm looking forward to Beyond the Message after this. I'll say a little bit more about that in just a moment. But right now, we have come to the time in our service where it is our time for conscious contributions. So there's a couple of easy ways to do that. The first way is text to give, and I don't have my little phone here to show you like Jeff always does, but text to give, it's just like texting a friend, 951-419-5858, and I even did that without it scrolling on the bottom. I remember the number, yay. You just type in that number as if you're sending a text, enter the amount that you wish to contribute, and then hit send. It's just that easy. The other easy way is to go to our website, riversidecsl.org, and in the upper right-hand corner, there is a button there that says contribute. Click on that, and it's the same simple, easy steps. We also do have our 2 or more fund that goes to the buildings and grounds. So if you'd like to contribute something directly to that to take care of our beautiful building that we will be back in soon, yay, for last week's announcement. So we will be back in there soon. Lots of things happening behind the scenes to make that happen. If you do want to contribute to the Buildings and Grounds Fund, if you do that through text to give, same thing. Type in your amount that you want to give, and then enter in the word more, just M-O-R-E, following that amount. And that will go directly into the Buildings and Grounds funds. Also, if you're going to do it on the website, again, upper right-hand corner, there is a link there to do it, to contribute to the Buildings and Grounds Fund through there. All right. Sending it back to Jubel, get the energy moving and shaking, and here we go.
All right, you've got to be the light if you want to see the light. You've got to be the light if you want to see the light. Because you reap what you know, meet what you know, see what you believe. Give a little bit of that good thing if you want to receive. You've got to be the love if you want to see the love. You've got to be the love if you want to see the love. Because you reap what you sow, reap what you know, be what you believe. Give a little bit of that good thing if you want to receive. Give a little bit of that good thing if you want to receive. You've got to be the light if you want to see the light. Yeah, you've got to be the light if you want to see the light. Because you reap what you know, be what you know, see what you believe. Give a little bit of that good thing if you want to receive. Give a little bit of that good thing if you want to receive.
All right. Thank you, Jubal. So now I'm going to change our little banner down here to Beyond the Message. There we go. Beyond the Message is coming up right after this. So you can join us on Zoom. Rasheryl will be there for the first bit of it. So we can check in with her and get your questions answered or have a little dialogue about things that came up for you during that. So Beyond the Message, the Zoom ID is 249-395-737. And the passcode is 92501. You can also just go to our website, riversidecsl.org, and click on the button Beyond the Message. It'll take you right into the Zoom room. Also in our Beyond the Message, so the second part of Beyond the Message is going to be a conversation with our spirit group leaders. There we go. And they're going to each tell us a little bit about their group that is coming up. We're starting, I believe those start the week of the 19th. Yes, Ed's nodding at me. So those groups will start meeting the week of the 19th. And you'll be able to hear a little bit more about each group. There are 5 groups that are going forward this term. So come join us on Beyond the Message. Again, 249-395-737, and we look forward to talking to you there. All right. I think we're wrapping up, right? All right. So repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called love. Love is in my mind. Love is in my body. Love is in everything we do. I am it. I share it. And I receive it because love lives here. All right. Take care, everybody. We will see you at Beyond the Message in just a couple minutes. Bye.
All right, sing along with me, friends. I will stand for love. I will stand for love. 'Cause I know I can be strong for love. Yes, I know I can be strong for love. Yeah, one more time. I will stand for truth. I will stand for truth. 'Cause I know I can be strong for truth. Yes, I know I can be strong for truth. Sing me the last one. I will stand for God. Stand for God. I will stand for God. 'Cause I know I can be strong for God. Yes, I know I can be strong for God. Have a great Sunday. Love you all. Thanks, Matt and Max and Maddie. Love.